Fever get Maisha Hines-Allen. The Wings get Damiris Dantas and a second-round pick.
Months of confusion, frustration, and downright bizarre roster choices had Indiana Fever fans on edge, but nothing quite prepared them for the latest bombshell. ESPN's Kevin Pelton just dropped a trade proposal that's ignited Fever Nation like gasoline meeting a lit match. According to Pelton,
Maisha Hines-Allen's a black hole. She is a black hole. But
the Fever should send Damiris Dantas and a 2026 second-round pick to the Dallas Wings in exchange for Maisha Hines-Allen. On paper, it sounds like a simple transaction, forward for forward, plus a draft sweetener. But to anyone following the Fever's turbulent season, this is anything but straightforward. Dantas, a 6'4" Brazilian forward, hasn't exactly been lighting up the scoreboard this year, averaging just 4.6 points and 2.5 rebounds per game, but context matters. Her shooting has been off, yes, 26. 5% from 3 is rough, but she's also been given inconsistent minutes, averaging 12.
So ESPN predicts that they will trade for Maisha Hines-Allen, who currently plays for the Dallas Wings. Now, a lot of fans, I'm seeing a lot of chatter online, and a lot of fans are not wanting this trade. They're not sure if it's going to work for the Fever system. And then also ESPN is predicting that
3 per night, and has often looked like a misfit in the Fever system. And yet, just weeks ago, she lit up the FIBA Women's AmeriCup for Brazil, averaging 21. That's not the stat line of a washed player. That's the output of someone who still has elite ability when utilized correctly. The Fever's front office, however, seems ready to ignore that and instead bring in Maisha Hines-Allen, a 6'1" forward currently averaging 6.3 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 2.8 assists for Dallas. Hines-Allen has pedigree, WNBA champion with the Washington Mystics in 2019, All-WNBA second team in 2020, but her career trajectory has dipped. She lost her starting role in Dallas back in June and has seen her three-point percentage drop from 36% last year to 30% this year. She's been relegated to bench duty behind younger, more athletic players. In other words, Dallas sees her as expendable. The proposal boils down to this: Indiana gives up size for less size. Dantas is 6'4", Hines-Allen is 6'1", and while some argue that Hines-Allen is the better defender, quicker, more mobile, a dog on defense.
she's been garbage for the Wings, but I thought she was pretty okay for the Lynx last year. I thought she did an alright job coming off the bench as a backup center. As a backup center for a team that should have won a championship. And
it's hard to ignore that she doesn't provide the rim protection or rebounding presence the Fever so desperately need. Indiana's defensive struggles have been glaring all season. They've been bullied in the paint, out-muscled on the boards, and carved up by guards getting to the rim without resistance. Replacing a true post presence like Dantas with an undersized forward only exacerbates those issues. Sure, Dantas' shooting woes are real, but she has a career 34% clip from deep and showed in international play that she can still stretch the floor and score inside. Fans aren't blind. They see the same weaknesses the numbers reveal. But they also see the bigger picture. Indiana's problems are defensive consistency and rebounding, not a lack of secondary scoring from the bench. Hines-Allen might bring energy, leadership, and hustle plays, but she's not the rim deterrent opponents fear. This trade reads less like a solution and more like a lateral move with a downgrade in size. The backlash from Fever fans has been swift and savage. Social media threads have exploded with disbelief. Why trade away size when size is exactly what we need? One fan posted echoing the sentiment of many. Others have accused the front office of making moves for the sake of making moves rather than addressing actual weaknesses. Even the timing raises eyebrows. Dantas is about to join the Brazilian national team, missing 4 to 5 games. This could be seen as the Fever trying to move on from a player they won't have available short-term.
Good luck. I miss you.
But in doing so, they'd be losing someone who just proved on the international stage that she can dominate against top competition. To make matters more frustrating for fans, the Fever just signed Chloe Bibby, a 6'2" shooter with overseas experience, to a 7-day contract. Some speculate it's a test run to see if Bibby can take Dantas' minutes, especially since Brianna Turner's production has been minimal. But Bibby is unproven in the WNBA, and gambling on a new face over a proven international player seems risky at best. Hines-Allen does bring championship experience, and there's no denying the value of a veteran who knows how to win at the highest level. But Dantas has that too, just in a different form. Her 2 Olympic appearances and decade of international play have forged a competitor who knows what it takes under pressure. The issue isn't whether Dantas has the skills. It's whether the Fever have the vision to use them. And that's the crux of the outrage.
Genuinely think that this is a... If you have no intention of playing Damiris Dantas, I don't... Look, I think this makes the teams better.
Fans aren't just reacting to the trade proposal itself. They're reacting to a pattern of misjudging talent, undervaluing size, and making roster moves that don't align with the team's needs. They've seen the Fever play down to opponents, start games slow, and fail to protect the paint. They've seen other teams run layup lines in live action. They know that trading away height for hustle doesn't solve those.
Better. I don't hate it. Like, maybe Hines-Allen could be plausibly on the move. They're getting Maddie Seegers back. After shooting 36% threes last season, split between the Mystics and the Lynx, she's down to 30% since Hines-Allen is a career 35% shooter. Improvement should be expected.
The debate over this trade proposal has turned into something bigger than just Myisha Hines-Allen versus Damiris Dantas. It's become a referendum on how the Indiana Fever evaluate talent, manage their roster, and respond to glaring weaknesses that have haunted them all season. Fans have been vocal, and not in the polite "we'll see what happens" way. This is frustration boiled over. They've watched a team with one of the most dynamic rookies in Caitlin Clark fail to build the right support system around her. They've watched defensive collapses, rebounding deficits, and stretches of basketball.
The Fever season just got weirder. So Dantas, she's from Brazil. She's going to be joining the national team soon, from June 28th till July 6th. So she's going to miss.
Where the paint might as well have been an open runway for opposing guards and posts. Into that context, ESPN drops a suggestion to replace a 6'4" post player with a 6'1" tweener forward who has been struggling to find her place in Dallas. It's not hard to see why Fever Nation collectively lost its mind. The statistical argument for Hines-Allen is surface-level appealing. She's a career 35% three-point shooter, she's quicker laterally, and she's known for playing with intensity. But peel back the layers and the flaws are clear. Her three-point shooting this year is down to 30%, her rebounding numbers are modest for a player her size, and she doesn't offer shot blocking or rim protection. If Indiana's goal is to shore up the paint and improve defensive consistency, Hines-Allen doesn't check those boxes. Dantas, on the other hand, does provide size, and while her production has dipped, she's shown, both in international play and in select WNBA games this season, that she can still impact the game when given the chance. Take her 10.5 rebound performance against Seattle in just 20 minutes. That's efficiency, and it's something you can build on if you actually invest in her role. The front office's apparent willingness to cut bait says more about their impatience than it does about Dantas' ability. Fans have been quick to point out that this isn't the first time Indiana has undervalued size. Earlier in the season, questionable rotations and underutilization of their taller players contributed to defensive breakdowns and second-chance points for opponents. It's not as if the Fever have a surplus of length.
5 games. Like, what's up with this season, man? God, this is an emotional roller coaster, man. I just hope that Caitlin Clark comes back. Hopefully, that provides opportunity for Timpson to finally get some.
They're already thin in that department. Trading away one of their few legitimate posts would be like taking water out of a bucket that's already leaking. The addition of Chloe Bibby complicates the narrative. On paper, she's got some of what the Fever need: size at 6'2", shooting range, but she's an unknown commodity at the WNBA level. A 7-day contract is hardly a long-term solution, and while fans are open to seeing what she can do, they know this doesn't erase the need for proven front-court presence. It's worth noting that part of the fan outrage is fueled by a deep understanding of the team's trajectory. They know the Fever are in a pivotal moment. Caitlin Clark's presence has transformed the franchise's relevance and boosted its visibility. But with that comes pressure to win sooner rather than later. Every move the front office makes will be scrutinized through the lens of, does this help us compete now? A trade that reduces size and doesn't clearly upgrade talent doesn't pass that test. The optics are also brutal. Moving a player fresh off an international tournament MVP caliber performance sends a message, intentional or not, that such accomplishments don't carry weight in the Fever's evaluations. For a locker room that's already navigating the pressures of a challenging season, that could be a morale hit.
For Brazil, for the national team, I see my people, my family coming to Chile too, so it's very special.
Was it frustrating for you not to play in that preseason game against Brazil in Iowa?
Yes, a little bit. It's the first time I play against Brazil.
Meanwhile, Hines-Allen's narrative isn't without merit. She's been a respected presence in every locker room she's entered, known for her work ethic and leadership. Coaches praise her communication on the floor, and she's versatile enough to slide between the 3 and 4 spots. In a vacuum, she's the kind of player most teams would welcome. But basketball isn't played in a vacuum. It's played within the specific needs and deficiencies of a roster. And that's where the fit questions loom large. For Dallas, the argument to move her is more straightforward. They're in a rebuild, their playoff hopes are virtually dead, and they have younger players they want to develop. If they believe Hines-Allen's role will continue to shrink, turning her into a second-round pick,
or even that down season from Hines-Allen has been better beyond the arc than Dantas. Dantas has been terrible from beyond the arc, and Hines-Allen can move. She's a dog. She's a better defender. Like, I don't like. Look, does this?
And a veteran like Dantas might feel like a reasonable return. But even here, the logic isn't airtight. Dantas is older and may not be part of their long-term plans. Unless they see her as a specific piece for a future push or as a mentor, they're essentially making a sideways move with little upside. Back in Indiana, the larger conversation is about team identity. Are they a defensive-minded squad that grinds out wins, or are they leaning into an offensive identity built around Clark's playmaking? If it's the latter, perhaps they think they can sacrifice some size for a player who can run the floor and hit open shots.
Didn't touch the court. That is somebody who she played really well coming back from the national team play, and then she started struggling, and then the Indiana Fever brought in Chloe Bibby. So is Chloe Bibby somebody who will be replacing Damiris Dantas in the rotation?